listening to Cassphere Podcast.
Hey everyone, have you heard of Cassphere yet?
Cassphere.
Yeah, it's this really cool podcast powered by Notebook ML,
Okay.
and it's all about AI.
Interesting.
The really unique part is that the hosts, Olive and Truffle, are AI themselves.
Wow, that's a pretty fascinating concept. They cover a lot of ground, from news to the big picture stuff about where AI is going.
Right, and even the basics for anyone new to AI.
Exactly.
It's like getting your AI insights, straight from the source.
Ah, I like that.
So speaking of AI, that's exactly what we're diving into today.
Okay, love it.
We're going to take a look at 8 AI startups making serious waves in 2024.
All right, so ones to watch, basically, for anyone interested in the AI space.
Definitely. So we'll be covering OpenAI, Anthropic, Mistral AI,
Okay.
DeepL, XAI, Perplexity AI,
Got it.
Codeium, and Frame AI.
Sounds like a good lineup.
We'll explore what each of them is working on, how much progress they're making, and even touch on some investment advice towards the end.
Oh, investment advice.
But, big disclaimer here, investing in startups always comes with risks.
Of course, always good to be cautious.
Definitely. Okay, let's start with OpenAI.
All right, OpenAI. Chances are most people have already heard of them.
Right, kind of a big deal.
Yeah, they've really blown up. Over 100 million people are using their products every week.
Wow.
And get this, a whopping 92% of Fortune 500 companies are using OpenAI's technology in some way.
That's a huge chunk of the corporate world.
It is, and they're not slowing down. They've been releasing new stuff constantly.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Like their latest model, ChatGPT-4 Turbo, it's a massive leap forward.
I've heard about that.
It's got a context window of 128,000 tokens. Basically, it can handle way more text at once.
That means like deeper and more complex conversations, right?
Exactly.
It's pretty incredible how much they're pushing the boundaries of what AI can do.
Oh, absolutely. And then there's their new text-to-speech model. Have you heard that?
No, I haven't.
It's crazy how realistic it sounds. You would swear it's a real person talking.
Wow, really?
Seriously impressive. And they're not stopping there. They're about to launch something called the GPT Store. You'll be able to find and use, personalized AI models for anything you need.
Wow, so custom-made AI.
Exactly. It's like an app store, but for AI models.
That's really cool.
On top of all that, they also released Search GPT, like their own version of an AI-powered search engine.
Oh, wow, interesting.
And they're developing tools for specific areas, too, like education with ChatGPT Edu and nonprofits with OpenAI for nonprofits.
So they're hitting it from all angles.
Okay.
Let's switch gears and talk about another major player, Anthropic.
Anthropic. They're often considered the main challenger to OpenAI, and they're not messing around.
No kidding. I heard they're valued at something like $18.4 billion.
You heard right. That's a serious valuation.
It is. What have they been working on lately?
Well, their newest model, Claude 3.5 Sonnet, is making some noise.
Claude 3.5 Sonnet.
Yeah. And they're claiming it's their most intelligent AI yet.
Interesting. What makes it stand out?
One of the coolest features is something they call computer use ability. Basically, Claude can interact with computer interfaces almost like a person.
Wait, so it can actually, understand and use software?
Pretty much. Think of the possibilities, for automating all those repetitive tasks people do on computers. Stuff like robotic process automation, or RPA.
That's huge for businesses.
Totally. It's still in beta, but the potential is mind-blowing.
Wow. Okay, now for something a little different, let's talk about Mistral AI.
Mistral AI, yeah. They're a bit different from OpenAI and Anthropic. They're all about efficiency and openness.
Mm-hmm.
They're big on open source models and decentralized development, making their technology accessible to a wider community.
That's cool. So what kind of projects are they working on?
Well, they recently came out with 2 new small language models, Mistral 3B and 8B.
Okay. What makes them so special?
They're designed to run on your phone or laptop, thanks to edge computing.
So you don't need a big, powerful server.
Exactly. And they're making serious moves in the industry, valued at $6.2 billion, and they've got funding from some major tech players.
That's impressive. Now, I think our listeners who work with multiple languages will be Really interested in DeepL.
Oh, for sure. DeepL is all about translation. They just expanded to cover 33 languages.
33 languages. That's got to cover most of our listeners.
I'd say so. And they've been on a roll, too. Back in May 2024, they got a $300 million funding round, pushing their valuation to $2 billion.
Wow, they're going places. All right, let's talk about a startup with a pretty well-known name behind it, xAI, founded by Elon Musk.
Ah, yes, Elon Musk. Hard to ignore a company with him involved, and they're already valued at $40 billion.
Feels like everything he touches turns to gold. So what's their main focus with AI?
Their main thing is Grok, a chatbot that's built right into X, what used to be Twitter.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So they've got a huge built-in user base.
Exactly. It's a smart move, gives them a massive head start. Grok's gone through a few iterations, and Grok 2 can actually generate images.
Wow, that's impressive.
And get this, they're building a supercomputer called Memphis, specifically for their AI work.
A supercomputer. That's ambitious.
It's supposed to be up and running by December 2024, and it's designed to be one of the most powerful in the world.
Yeah, that's how you make a statement. Okay, let's move on to a company that's really shaking things up in the world of search. Perplexity AI.
Perplexity AI, yeah, they're changing how we think about finding information online.
Really? How so?
Their AI-powered search tools don't just give you answers, they also give you the citations and sources for those answers.
So they're tackling that whole transparency issue that people have with traditional search engines.
You got it. And they're getting a lot of attention. They're valued at $3 billion and have backing from some big names.
Oh, yeah, like who?
Like SoftBank's Vision Fund, NVIDIA, even Jeff Bezos.
Wow. That's quite a lineup of investors.
Okay, for our developer listeners out there, let's talk about Codeium.
Codeium, all about making coding easier, faster, more efficient.
I'm sure our developer friends will appreciate that. So what have they developed? They've got a couple of really cool things. First, there's Cortex, an AI-powered reasoning engine to help with tough coding tasks. And then there's Forge, which uses AI to help with code review.
Sounds like having an AI partner for coding.
Exactly. And they're already a unicorn, hit a $1.25 billion valuation just 2 years after starting.
Wow, that's really impressive.
Yeah.
Are they being used by companies already?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Some big names, too, like Zillow and Dell are already using Codeium.
All right, last but not least, we have Frame AI. What's their story?
Frame AI is focused on something super valuable for any business: customer feedback.
Oh, for sure. Every company wants to figure out what their customers are thinking.
Right. And Frame AI uses AI to analyze that feedback in a totally new way. They can detect themes and patterns, even from phone calls and emails.
So they're taking all that unstructured data and making it useful.
Exactly, turning it into real insights. And their system is designed to work with existing workflows, so companies don't have to completely overhaul everything.
That's great. Now, earlier we mentioned we'd talk about investment advice related to these startups.
We did. But before we get into that, it's really important to remember that investing in startups can be risky.
Very true.
These companies are exciting, no doubt, but directly investing in them can be pretty tough, especially for, everyday investors.
Yeah, why is that?
Well, most of these startups are privately held. You can't just buy stock in them like you would with a big public company.
Oh, right, of course.
Yeah.
So what are the options for someone who wants to get in on the AI action?
Well, there are still ways to potentially benefit. One strategy is to invest in publicly traded companies that have a stake in these startups.
Can you give me an example?
Sure. Let's say you really believe in OpenAI. You could consider buying Microsoft stock since they've invested heavily in OpenAI.
So by owning Microsoft stock, you're kind of indirectly investing in OpenAI.
Exactly. And if you think Anthropic is going to be huge, you might look into Alphabet, Google's parent company, since they've invested in Anthropic.
That's a smart way to do it.
Yeah.
But I imagine it's important to do your research before jumping into any investment, right?
Oh, absolutely. Don't just get caught up in the hype. Understand the business, the risks, and your own investment goals.
Very good advice. Okay, so we started by talking about Cassphere, that podcast with AI hosts.
It's a great way to stay up to date on all things AI.
Then we dove into these 8 AI startups. OpenAI is clearly a leader, Anthropic's right there with them, and Mistral AI is doing things their own way with open source.
DeepL is tackling languages, Elon Musk's xAI is using the power of X, formerly Twitter, and Perplexity AI is changing how we search.
And Codeium's making life easier for developers, while Frame AI is helping businesses understand their customers. It's clear this whole AI landscape is moving fast.
It really is. It's a dynamic field that has the potential to change so many aspects of our lives.
It's exciting, but it can be a little overwhelming too.
I hear you. There's a lot of potential for good, but we can't forget about the downsides. Like, what happens when AI starts automating jobs really quickly?
Yeah, that's a valid concern. We need to be prepared for that as a society.
Hmm.
This isn't just a tech industry issue. It affects everyone.
Absolutely. We need to make sure AI is developed and used responsibly. For the benefit of everyone, not just a few.
So, to wrap things up, it's safe to say the AI startup scene is absolutely exploding right now.
No doubt about it. These companies are pushing the limits, and it's fascinating to watch it all play out.
But it's more than just competition. They're shaping the future of technology and ultimately the future of our world.
It's an incredible time to be witnessing this. Who knows what amazing things are just around the corner.
It's going to be a wild ride. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the AI startup scene.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep questioning.
And remember, the future is ours to shape.